forgot that I'm doing a video every 200 hours. So I stopped by right now. I'm just randomly decided to do it. Yeah, so 1,400 hours of comprehensible input. What do I say about it? I would say about 1,300 hours or so, 1,320, 1,340 or so. My ability to speak picked up a little bit. It was a little more noticeable, or rather, my ability to put I don't know if it's the right word, conjunctions. Put certain phrases together or create. I'll say this: I'm able to start creating phrases on my own versus just regurgitating what I've heard before. Now, granted, they're longer, drawn out phrases. For instance, it's like saying, put it in short comment or layman's terms, it's the long, drawn out way to say the same thing but get my point across. Versus, it's not necessarily how people would normally talk. If you're native, you cut words out, and it's a little more slang based, or just you would say it a different way, but it still makes sense the way I would say it, the way I was saying it. It's it's enough for me to get my point across. I work a job where I have to talk to natives sometimes, so it's difficult. I'm still missing some words. I don't have everything, but it's enough for me to get my point across, and they can understand at least enough. So that was cool to kind of see. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not ready. I'm not fluent, of course not. I would do a Spanish practice, but I want to wait until about 1,500 hours. Before 1,500 hours, I will do a conversation in Spanish, or at least just talk to the camera, and I can do that. I can do it right now, honestly, but I want to give myself another 100 hours, or less than that now, like 90, to kind of set the tone straight, and let it be a little more. This is 1,500 hours. This is what it could look like with someone who has minimal reading, someone who, has maybe 10 hours of actual speaking practice, someone who also, I'm not saying I have a learning disability, but there's been many times where I'll be listening or watching something and I'm not fully paying attention to it. So the idea that I got to be fully locked in to everything I'm reading, or everything I'm listening to or watching, we'll see how that's affected me. Obviously, everyone's testimony is a little different. Everyone's journey is a little different. But for me, this is just how it's kind of been going. What to talk about? Last time I was here, obviously, it was 1,200 hours. Again, comprehension-wise, I think that's the most important. I heard one of the guys I've been following for a long time, he said like 2,400 hours now. His main thing was he didn't feel like he was no longer a learner till about 1,800 hours. And I can see that. I can see another 400 hours. For me, I'm doing average 6 hours a day, which I get to that in a little bit. I've slowed down a little bit this last month or so. Still like 4 or 5 hours a day. Some days I do 10. It's just I'm missing about 10 hours throughout the month, because now you can track how I'm doing in Spanish. So, whatever that shakes out to be average wise, it's still about 5. But, lately I haven't really felt like doing 6 hours. This is what it is. Some days I do an hour or two. Some days I do 7, 8. So, however that shakes out, it shakes out. But comprehension, going back to that, there's times where I feel like certain speeds are too much. And now I'm kind of getting into accents. So I'm listening to a lot of different things, and there's a lot of accents that are just way out of my reach. Way out of my reach. And again, a lot of that's due to the different slangs and the different ways people put string words together. The accent is not just the sound of it. It's how you put a sentence together. How you roll the words and mesh the words together. Each, region is a little different. So I saw a post from someone talks about you start focusing on a region by 1,500 hours. I did a little early. I really want to understand, you know, the Mexican region, of course. I live by Mexico, and I think it said they're like the top 5 fastest speakers, maybe 2. I think they're number 2. So they do speak pretty fast, but it's not, at least in South America. Spaniards speak fast as hell. Some of them, they speak ridiculously fast. And, you know, aside from Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic, who are just ridiculous because they put their words together, the comprehension's been good. It's definitely improved. I can say within the last 100 hours it's been improved. Definitely within the last 200 hours. I watched animation's fairly easy. My reading, I understand a lot more what I'm reading now. And again, I think it all has to do with the epiphany I had with, you know, finally understanding a lot more of the grammar. I think the grammar was holding me back because I didn't understand how words were put together, and I'm still trying to translate and stuff. Now I'm not translating as much. You know, I remember I said in 400 hours, 600 hours, I wasn't translating. I wasn't, but I also wasn't really understanding a lot. I was just kind of letting it flow, which was cool. But it's because I only knew so little of what was being said. I could kind of just skim over everything else and just get the big picture. Now that I know a lot more words, there's times where my brain wants to figure out the rest of the puzzle. Then I start translating again. So it kind of comes and goes. It's not like I feel like I can just flow the whole sentence and listen to it and know exactly what's said. Sometimes I feel like, you know, let me translate it. And now that I'm getting to more cultural region movies, like right now I'm watching Rosario, it's a little bit out of my range. And most people will be like, nah, I'm gonna wait till 16, 17 hours to watch it. I'm not doing that, because for me, I've been doing the rush method the entire time, which is I'm listening to shit that's above my level anyway this entire time. I was watching anime at 400, 500 hours, and I barely understood it. Now, you know, 4 hours after that, 1,000 hours, I was watching like it was nothing. So did that impact me negatively? I don't know. Not sure. I think it's, you know, I think at the end of this, I think about 1,800 hours, I don't know if I was affected or not. I don't think I will be. I think 1,800 hours is 1,800 hours. I think 200 hours, 2,000 hours, 2,000 hours. You know, for me, my goal is to get 2,000 hours before the end of the year, to have a whole year of comprehensive input and accomplish 2,000 hours and see where that leads me. I hope and I'm praying that that is enough to be at least I won't say conversationally fluent, because technically that should be 1,500 hours, but conversationally fluent, you know, I mean, to where I can sit here and have a conversation about any daily topic with no problem. That's what I really want. Now, to have deep, elaborate conversations, you know, you need more vocabulary for that, and I'm cool with that. It's a lot more reading. But within 2,000 hours, I'd want to sit here and go to Mexico and talk to the family for the entire time. And I feel like I don't know what the hell to say or can't speak at all. That would be very disheartening. But first things first, I would like people to understand everything that's being said. Because that's what I, you know, saw that video from the guy. He's like, you know, the most important thing is comprehension. If you can't comprehend it, it doesn't matter if you can speak or not. You don't know what they're being saying. It's another proper comprehension. And I agree. So my goal, so I'm a little worn down, walking around and, you know, a little tired. But my goal is get my comprehension up. But I'm not gonna, I will do a 1,500 hour video. I'll be at that in 20 days. Nah, shit, 15 days actually. So after I post this, you'll see another video in 15 days or more, a little more, of me speaking. I'm just gonna introduce myself, you know, where I'm from. It's gonna be choppy. I'm gonna say things that don't make any sense. It's gonna be a little wrong, but si puedo hablar español. Depende del tema, pero sí, no puedo. So listen, I already speak a little bit. I mean, I do. I have to for my job. So, but 15 hours, I'll do a video, a couple minutes, see how it goes, and move from there. But tune in there. See you all in 15 days.